About this, I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but how chill the setup is with you guys. It's like, I've been on podcasts where it's like, I feel like I'm on a, I don't know, like the news or something, or it's some like big production. And it's pretty intimidating when you have 7 camera crew guys running around you every 2 seconds, and there's, 7 different camera angles that you're thinking about, and oh, don't shift this way too much. Oh, don't do that. And and here it's, I think a lot of people would be surprised how like chill and laid back the whole setup is.
It's by design.
Yeah, like it's definitely the most conducive to a real conversation, I feel like.
Yeah, you don't want a bunch of people in the room with you. Like I've done people's shows where they have people in the room. I go, do you understand that these people are distracting?
Yeah, and it's like
it's going to take away from the conversation.
I think a lot of people, and I'm not a pro podcaster by any means, but I think they're of the opinion that higher production value consistently, no matter how high it gets, equals better, without thinking about the detriments it has to the actual conversation. It becomes very manufactured.
Yeah. Well, I think particularly with this kind of podcast, you have to be aware of what are you making. Well, what you're making is a conversation that you want to be as easy to listen to as possible. So you want the person who's the guest to be as comfortable as possible. You want to give them as much space. You don't want to interrupt. You want them to be, you want them to feel good. You want everybody to be having fun and be friendly and have them be the most relaxed so you can have an enjoyable conversation that you would digest if you were on a road trip or you're on a treadmill. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. And the only way to do that is to make people comfortable. And the only way to make people comfortable is to not distract them. Yeah. So when I do some people's podcasts and they have like literally a glass wall and there's a control room and you see people running back and forth and they're holding up pieces of paper and they're timing things and there's 5 different people on the keyboards, and I don't know why they want to do that. I don't understand. Like, obviously not everybody's Jamie. And one of the things about having a guy like Jamie, it streamlines the process so well, because Jamie does a job of 3 people, at least. There should be 3 people doing what he does. There should be one person that's Googling, one person that's switching the cameras, another person that's monitoring the sound levels and overseeing everything and making sure the lighting is good and everything's going smooth. You would have multiple people doing what he does.
So you mentioned 25 years ago you got a great financial advisor. How did you guys meet to get this whole setup?
I just met Jamie at a comedy club. Yeah, Jamie came to a show at the Ice House, and we were just talking, just hanging out. He told me he's a professional audio engineer, and he was saying we have problems with our sound. And I said, what would you do to fix it? He goes, I could take a look at it. And that was kind of the extent of the conversation, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Pretty much. Yeah. And then Jamie said he took a one-way ticket from Ohio to come to L.A. because this is what he wants to do. And I was like, really? But it was like, it seemed to me, and I, for whatever reason, I tend to follow instincts. Even if people say, don't do that. What do you do? I'm like, I don't know. This seems like the thing to do. And like with him, I was like, I think I'm going to hire that dude. And then right away, guy I didn't even know. I didn't know shit about him. Like, yep, I was right. He's the man.
What episode did you come in on?
Jamie's been here for 9 years.
Yeah, no, 11.
11 years.
Yeah.
But like there was some episode number where prior to that,
I don't remember.
The audio was shitty and everything.
Came in around 300.
Okay.
290, 300 was when I started.
Yeah. But again, not everybody's Jamie.
Yeah.
But Jamie and I are like kind of telepathic in this weird way. We're like, I'll be talking about something and Jamie will already have it pulled up. Like, I'll start the conversation. I'll like, did you see this new jet? And then all of a sudden, Jamie's got the video. How'd you do that? Did you guys plan this? I'm like, he's the man. Yeah. He's like, we have like the best working relationship in that regard. And, like, I have other friends that run podcasts and they're always complaining. They're like, the producer chimes in too much and interrupts sentences. They get things wrong. They don't show up on time. They're late with their video editing. And Jamie and I just have it dialed in. But again, it's a skeleton crew. We have one guy who's a video editor. We have one guy who's a booking agent.
So it's like, because everyone would be wondering who has a podcast, like, how do you find a Jamie or something that is like high-level positions? Even for like companies you have, I've always wondered, how'd you find the people to run those so you can actually do what you do best?
Yeah. Well, with the Comedy Club's a good example. With the Comedy Club, when I started that and I came out here to Austin, it was like the universe had opened it was like, you know, when you're driving, sometimes you hit every green light.
Yeah.
It's like it's
It
red.
feels, it feels like it's meant to be.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's how the comedy club was.